Hello there. So, you might have seen a post of mine, you might have read my book, and you're probably wondering who I actually am and whether anything I say is worth your time. And I would say to you that's pretty much fair enough. So, let me tell you my story, the real one, not the tidy version, because everything I do now, the book, the mentoring, AI Steve, it all came out of it. So, way back when, I was brought up on a council estate in South Wales. An ex-UK Armed Forces. These days, they actually class me as a veteran, which is a bit scary and actually not far from reality. So in 2005, I scratched an itch. I started a business. It went reasonably well. But then in 2007, I lost a lot. No, seriously, I actually lost everything. It was an embarrassing mess and a horrible liquidation followed. And when the business was in its final throes, I was absolutely desperate. I wanted it to survive. I thought I could pull it off. I had so much ego. I had so much invested in it. I had one card left to play. I remortgaged my house to try and save the business, and I raised £69,000. I put it all in the business, and it was gone in less than 20 minutes. 2 weeks later, the business went bust. I lost that £69,000, all of it. That money was never really mine to gamble with because it was the roof over my family's head. At the time, I was married, still am, to Michelle. I had Dan, who was 5, Martha, who was 8. But I learned 2 things in that wreckage that have never left me. The first, you lose the gadgets and the trinkets. I mean, I lost the house, I had 2 cars towed off the drive. But to be honest, once the embarrassment shifts, you keep what matters. You keep your health, you keep your family, and to be honest with you, everything else is just window dressing. The second came from a very wise man when I was probably at my lowest point. He told me that nobody tattoos the word failure on the middle of your forehead. You may feel it, but no one else knows it. What you project to the outside world is not what's happening inside your head. So no one knows you're a failure apart from yourself. That failure feels enormous when you're stood inside it. But in the scheme of a whole life, it's tiny. He told me to get up and carry on. So I got up. After 2 years in self-imposed darkness, and it was pretty dark, I built again. But this time it worked. We got to 3 million in revenue, over 3 million in revenue. We had 40 odd staff. We were across 2 countries. And from the outside, I had made it back. I had gone from hero to zero and back again. On the inside, it wasn't quite as straightforward. I recall and I remember vividly sitting in a boardroom one day on my own. I was surrounded by forecasts and budgets and cash flows and HR issues, supplier invoices, customer demands. And it hit me. And I remember the exact words I said to myself at that moment. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I had hit my ceiling. I just didn't know my next move. And I was lonely. I was lonely because, if I'm honest, because there was nobody in that building that I could really talk to. I couldn't talk to Michelle at home. I couldn't talk to my staff. They were looking to me for all the answers. This is something that nobody warns you about. When a business is failing, the path is really obvious. You just fight. You fight like mad. You sell. You try and do anything. But the path is really clear. Now, when it's succeeding and going really well, that's another level of stress and pain. The path all goes foggy then. And that is when you need help the most. And it is exactly when most owners think they need it the least. The cliche that we all hear is running a business is lonely. I've just said it myself. And like many of these cliches, they are cliches because they are true. When you run a business, have you ever noticed that most of the advice from the people closest to you is designed and built to keep you safe? I remember a conversation with my mum and dad when I first started running my own business. They said, don't do it, Steve, it's too risky. My father was a policeman, my mother worked at HSBC Bank, and they both did that all their lives. They're wonderful people. And their idea of safety was a job for life. And all they wanted to do was keep me safe. And when you think about it, your partner wants to keep you safe. Your mum and dad want to keep you safe. Your mates, they want to keep you safe. It all comes from a really good place. It comes from, and is, love. But building a business is not safe. You have to step out of your comfort zone every single day. And yet another cliche that's true. Yes, another one. They say that the comfort zone is a lovely place, but nothing grows there. Then there are some people who will not want you to change at all. They want that same fella they knew at school. The same old Steve. Good old Steve. I've had it said to me many times, you've changed. You're not the person that you used to be. Good. I fucking hope so. Why would anyone want to be the same person they were at 16 or at 25 or at 30 or at 50? The whole point is to grow. Now, let's go back to that boardroom again. Back in that boardroom, the truth is, I was fucking scared. Scared of doing the same things that had caused me so much pain before. Scared of making those same stupid mistakes. So, what I did, I reached out to a wonderful lady and a business coach called Linda. Serendipity would have it, amazingly, I'd worked for Linda when I first left the armed forces. But in the meantime, she had built a fantastic business and exited that business. She'd also been nominated and won Welsh Businesswoman of the Year. So, as you can imagine, with that resume, I think it's fair to say she knew what she was talking about. She was someone who had walked the path that I was on ahead of me. She had experience that I didn't have. She'd been in situations that she could understand where I was and what I was feeling. And she showed me that what I was feeling was totally normal. She did a wonderful job of sharing her mistakes, showing me the experiences that she had and what she did when she was in my situation. Then she pulled all the mess of thoughts out of my head and laid them out in a way that finally made sense, and we worked through them together in a number of sessions, month after month after month. We had planning sessions, we had actions and accountabilities, which she held me accountable for. So every single month I was moving forward. We always sketched out what I wanted to be, and we set about taking those actions in order to get there. Having Linda in the first instance, and then I've had several other coaches and mentors in the meantime, I have learned that asking for help is not a weakness, it's an absolute superpower. It is the biggest accelerator I have ever found. I have always had a coach and mentor in my life ever since. Now, I want you to think of every single successful business owner or founder that you can name. Maybe you know them from clubs, golf clubs, on the TV, anywhere. Any founder that you know or can name. I can tell you all of them have one thing in common. They didn't do it on their own. They all have coaches and mentors. Think about it. Lord Sugar, Branson, the Dragons, the Sharks, Hamosi, Gary Vee, all these people that are all over our social feeds, all of them are admired and looked up to for the success that they've achieved. Not one of them did it alone. We have somehow decided that asking for help is a weakness. It is the absolute opposite of a weakness. So that business and that boardroom and working with Linda, that business went from strength to strength, and in 2016 I exited. But with that came a new challenge. Truth be told, I was a little lost for a while. I even cycled across New Zealand for a cancer charity just to try and find myself a little bit. So what filled in the void of the business full time and that was the drive to help other owners learn from my experiences and dodge the scars and pitfalls that I had gathered and navigated. That is what ATL is. It stands for above the line. It's what every business owner, founder, and anyone with a drive and ambition to be the best version of themselves needs to work at every day. It's the backbone and the framework that I wrote my book about. It's just here, behind me. It might be one of the reasons why you found me in the first place. It's the backbone and framework that I wrote that book on, and it's the mentoring that I do now. I do founder to founder. I help business owners grow so their business can grow without them. Because one thing I definitely know to be true is the business can never outgrow the owner. The ceiling is set by the quality of your thinking and the standard of your habits. And my whole job is to help you raise them both. The trouble is, there's only one of me. And as you can imagine, like everybody, my time is limited. Also, geography gets in the way. Now, I've had clients over the years since 2016 in Southern Ireland. I've traveled to San Francisco, North Carolina, Michigan. But geography does get in the way. Working with me also one-to-one is not cheap. And not everybody is ready for it. And not everybody has a half day a month to give. So I built AI Steve. AI Steve is me. Well, not me, because I'm me. AI Steve is the AI version of me. Now, I have spent months, hours, days, months, training in my voice, my frameworks, my methodology. 25 years of running a business, the winning, the losing, it's all in there. With AI Steve, you can talk to me any day, any hour. It's on 24/7, 365. Not one question and gone. It's a proper conversation. Things like, where do I go next? Help me set my objectives for the year. How do I get a grip on my time? We work through it together in AI Steve whenever it suits you. It can be your thinking partner, your sounding board, your confidant, the one that holds you accountable and the one that pushes you on. It is the closest you can get to me, my coaching, my experience, without me being in the room. And it's for a fraction of what it costs to have me there. So that's me. Talked about the failure, the rebuild, the lessons that changed everything. That is what I bring. And that is what I built into everything that you see here. That is what I put into the book, the mentoring, AI Steve, everything. Now, if you feel you have hit your ceiling, if you can relate to things being a little bit lonely at the top, maybe you feel there's a next level, but you just can't quite see it yet. Perhaps you've been thinking about investing in yourself and your own self-development, thinking about taking on a coach and a mentor. If that's so, then I'm positive that I can help. We have AI Steve. We have the book. We have the ATL YouTube channel. We've got the website. We have the R3 sessions, the Wheel of Life. Everything is here. The whole ecosystem is here, and it's all designed to move you onwards and upwards in business and in life. Get AI Steve in your pocket today. Subscribe, get it done. Watch a few videos. Have a look at the book. It's a free download. You've just got to click the link and you get it for free. And when you're ready, come and have a conversation with me. I'll be there. Thanks for listening.